What's the haps? I'm John, aka Meroka, and welcome to Spiel. We find ourselves in the Golden Sun Gate this week because that came back around pretty quickly. I guess it's random, there is a chance that these things can do that, but it was not all that long ago that I was talking about how I will usually take the chance to do the Golden Sun Gate if it pops up, because Golden Sun. And Golden Sun is back, so yes, my current stance on that gate still stands. I will take the opportunity to do that. So this is undead this time, or mostly undead. It's got a couple of fiendy things here, so I guess we're doing fiends, whether we like it or not, because it's Golden Sun, so we're doing it. Yeah, that's how decisions get made around here. I don't know why I'm breaking all of these. I thought there was like a switch hidden under them, but there isn't, is it? There's a key. Some undeads and some fiends. Okay, it's a healthy mix of all the horrible things in the game. All the nasty things that want you dead. Actually, wait, no, that's just literally everything. Are you gonna... Oh, I see. You're gonna throw the suitcase the moment I try to attack you. Of course you are. Yay, that's fun. So, I'm wearing something different this week, aren't I? That's because it's time for some Spiral Nights news. Yeah! Which is... news, but not newsworthy enough that I was going to do a video on it. It's Halloween event time. Normally, that would be an occasion that would be newsworthy enough that I would do something. I'd be like, hey, everybody, look what's in the Halloween this year. Look at all the things that they've added to the game. Do you know why I haven't done one this year? Because they haven't added anything to the game. It's identical to last year. Last year, I don't think they did much. Last year, they added the Scarab mask, I think, right? If memory serves. I don't think there was much more to it than that. It was just the Scarab mask, but... better that than nothing. This year, there's literally nothing at all. So, yeah. If you've got all the things from Halloween, there is nothing new to be found. If you don't have all the things from Halloween, great, go farm them. You can obviously still farm hallowed prize boxes if you want some paltry amounts of cash, because they're not worth a lot because everybody else in the game is farming them. So, yeah, you won't get much for your hallowed prize boxes, but it's a thing you can collect and sell on the auction house for people who might potentially want them. But there's not a lot in it. God damn it, these guys! Oh, this is why I don't do fiends. Let me drop a heart attack on you guys. Can I drop a heart attack? Oh, I'm lagging. Oh, this is a great state of affairs. Thank you, Virgin Media, for your high-quality internet. Not. Can I have a pill? Good job I had a pill, right? And then you can just get shot. You can give me some hearts, you can give me some defense orbs, some speed orbs, and we're all good, I think. Mostly. For the most part. Alrighty, with the complete underwhelming news out the way. I mean, the way that ties into my costume is this is my Halloween costume, by the way. If you've not seen me play the game around Halloween time, this is pretty much what I've been wearing for the last 3 years for Halloween. It's like, hey, I've got this hallowed gear. It's my too many swords gear. It has a side blade and a parrying blade, and I can run around with a sword as well. So I have 3 swords on this loadout. I can only use 2 of them, but I have them. Most of them are purely decorative. Ceremonial, if you will. I have too many swords loadouts, and I like it. It's really... I'm sure I could do much better than that. I'm quite sure I could. But I'm not going to. I would be better off trying to take these fiends out with a sword, I suspect. Speaking of swords. Topic du jour, I suppose. Yeah, see how that works so much better? Yeah, it does. So let's talk about some other things that are in the news. You guys didn't actually give me any worthwhile topics for this week, so could end up being a short episode. This is why I need you guys to provide me with stuff. Fortunately, there's stuff happening in the world that we can talk about. But yeah, if you guys want a show, you guys gotta give me stuff to talk about, and you didn't do that, so... yeah. If you want a show next week, maybe you should leave questions. Actually, next week you should totally leave questions for next week, because by the way... not that you would necessarily be immediately aware of this, because I don't number the episodes, but next episode, next Wednesday, will be episode 150 of Spiel. I occasionally mention the episode numbers, so some people might have had an inkling that that was coming up, but I never, like, I don't put it in the title, and I never really explicitly say, by the way, this is episode number, I just sort of mention roughly where we were at. So yes, next episode is episode 150. That marks if you don't know how these things work, the end of Season 3 of Spiel. I would normally just follow up with a new season the very next week. It might not be this year. I might want to... Because I ain't got any thoughts on where I'm going to go from here. Last time I was like, let's take it down a slightly different route this year. And we have. It's been fun, it's been interesting, it's been entertaining. I haven't really got any thoughts where I'm going beyond Season 3, so maybe if I take a couple of weeks away from Spiel to do something else, I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get there. It's one of those things that I figure out when I get there. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, I need something to end a season on, don't we? So again, I've never ended the season doing anything particularly special or interesting. It's just like, hey, we're at a round number. GG, I'm going to change the style of the thumbnail next week. That's basically how it works. That's all I've ever done for the new seasons, really. It's like, hey, we're now on episode 51, I'm going to change the thumbnail. Hey, we're on episode 101, I'm going to change the thumbnail. So, yeah, I guess maybe I gotta go design a new thumbnail. Maybe that's what I gotta do. Yeah, the excitement, the hype, the underwhelmingness. Well, it matches the level of the content being added to the game. Yeah, so leave me questions for that, questions and topics for that. Let's make it interesting and fascinating and not in the slightest bit Spiral Knightsy episode 150. Give me something really interesting to talk about, and that will be great. But for this week, let's talk about YouTube Red, I suppose, because that's what's going on in the world. YouTube Red is obviously relevant to everybody you watch on YouTube, or very nearly everybody you watch on YouTube. There are a handful of people out there that are just in this for the fun and not really too bothered about making much money out of it, but a lot of people kind of have some kind of ambition that maybe, just maybe, somewhere down the line this could possibly be a career. You could possibly make enough money out of this to make it your job. And a lot of people do. I mean, any big channel that you watch probably does it full time. Most people once they get past about the 6-figure mark, definitely start considering going full time with it if they haven't already. Because I know of the Strangelands crew blitz past 6 figures not all that long ago. He's already 130k now. He's very much in the point where he's like, I should just quit my job and do this. So cool, good for him. I wish I was there, definitely do, but not yet, not yet. So YouTube Red is a system that YouTube is going to be rolling out, which potentially might allow more money to be made by content creators, but also might completely and utterly ruin everything for everybody ever. We don't know yet. Basically, it's their new subscription service, which is... basically it'll be $10 a month, and for that will remove all adverts from all YouTube videos, which is basically how most of us make... most of our revenue from this. I guess some people turn to Patreon, some people have Twitch subscriptions and things, but generally speaking, when you talk about the broad majority of money made through YouTube, it's going to be ad revenue. And that's where most people make most of their money. So you're turning the adverts off, which at first doesn't sound great, but the idea is that the standard YouTube split is 45% to YouTube of ad revenue and 55% to the content creator. That's reasonably well established. It's going to be the same split for the YouTube Red revenue, so $5.50 of your $10 subscription will go to the content creators. But we don't know how it's going to go to the content creators, which is what's causing a lot of consternation, quite frankly. The ideal solution, the one that you would kind of imagine should happen with this, is... let's take that money and divide it up amongst everybody that you watch, proportionally by how much you've watched them over the course of the last 30 days that you've been paying for, right? That would make sense, yeah? I would have thought so. And now, at first the wording of YouTube Red on all their documentation kind of sounded like that's the way it would work, and then they've kind of reworded it a few times, I think, now at this stage, and it's got fuzzier and vaguer, and it's... not clear that that is the case. It hasn't... I wouldn't rule it out as the case, but it's not necessarily the case. It could just be divided up by all watch time ever, which basically means PewDiePie gets most of the money, if we're honest. PewDiePie and whoever else is up there with PewDiePie. Nobody else is up there with PewDiePie. I guess collectively across all their channels, like Vivo, because they own most of the music channels, most musicians who have a channel and put their music videos out on. Vivo owns most of those. So Vivo would probably see a ridiculous cut of that money as well if you were to do it that way. And everybody else, so wouldn't see much of that. So hey, if you, one of my subscribers, were to pay $10 a month for YouTube Red, and then did nothing but watch my videos all month, you would expect that since 100% of your watch time went on my channel, this is just a hypothetical, I'm not saying this is what you have to do or anything, I'm just saying if you were to do that, you would imagine that I should see that $5.50 in my account at the end of the month, basically, when YouTube says, here's your money. There should be an extra $5.50 because a YouTube Red subscriber has just done nothing but watch my videos. But if it's divided up amongst all watch time ever, that means the money that you paid to at least theoretically support the content creators you enjoy is instead going straight into PewDiePie's pockets. And we all saw PewDiePie's finances for this year. That guy's doing okay. He doesn't need that. He doesn't need the extra $5.50 a month. He's managing fine on the ad revenue, by the way. People like me, a couple of subscribers, paying $5.50 a month extra, that can make a difference. PewDiePie, that's what? That's he wouldn't even notice that money at all. Just wouldn't. There's non-existent money to him. So it sounds like there's very much a potential for a rich get richer, poor get poorer kind of scheme, as far as now you're not watching our adverts, so we get less money from ad revenue, and of the money you would pay, we would see such a minuscule fraction of that money that it would be worthless. So yeah, could be pretty bad for the small time guys. Could be. I have asked for clarification on this, because I have a contact at Google. I have a YouTube partner manager, I think is his proper title. I am a partner, and he is... I was going to say he's my manager, but that sounds like he's in charge of me. He's not. He's just... He manages partners, but not in a, he's the manager kind of way. He runs things at YouTube, and if I want to talk to him about stuff, I can talk to him about stuff. I have an email address for him, and I can go, hey, I have a question about the YouTubes, and I actually get an official answer out of things, which is kind of nice to have, to be honest. I think it seems like once you pass around the 2,000 subscribers mark, if you're not with a big network, if you're like with Polaris or someone, yeah, you don't get that, but... Why am I carrying so many keys around? I don't know how to do this level, do I? I clearly don't. Yeah, if you're with Machinima or Polaris or pick a network, other networks are available. I don't care for any of them, but they are. If you're with them, Google won't offer that service to you because I think their assumption is that this is kind of the service you're supposed to be receiving from your network, but... If you don't have one, Google's like, hey, yeah, we'll talk to you, that's fine, that's great, yeah. So, another reason not to partner up with somebody who takes half your money. Seems like a good deal to me. So yeah, I emailed him this morning, I was like, look, everybody and their mothers is speculating on YouTube Red. I thought that might hide a thing, it didn't. And nobody's got any answers, and you work for Google. Can you please give me an answer on how this is going to play out? And turns out the official answer is, we don't have an official answer. Just for what it's worth, this service rolls out on October 28th. Date of recording this is October 27th, so we're talking day before. By the time this video goes up, we may actually know the answer to this, but as of day before the service is due to go live, we don't actually know how the service is going to work. So, well played Google and YouTube on that one. That's, yeah... It could probably have been managed a little bit better. Maybe they should have got one of their managers to do something about that. I don't know. I'm going to need to drop a hard stack, I think, and hit you. No. No! 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 One of them got mutated into a big one, didn't they? I was trying to heart attack things. Ugh! I'm going to die. I don't have any shields. I don't have a dash. Oh, this is nasty. You are out of there. 3 small hearts. You have a heart attack? Oh, it went away. Oh, this cannot end well. I've got an emergency revive. I think this is what's going to carry me through this. So, yeah, fingers crossed it's going to be the former service. If it's not, I have no interest in YouTube Red. I mean, if it was the... I said former service, I did, depending on... which order did I talk about things? The former service being the good service, right? Yes, the former service. Let's hope it's the good service and not the bad service. Nobody likes the bad service. Nobody wants bad service. And YouTube Red sounds like it could be a bad service. If it's a good service, it's the sort of system I could buy into, again, just for the ability to support creators, rather than having to go around and find people's Patreons and, like, pledge $1 a month or buy their merchandise or whatever. It's just a big, broad, sweeping, hey, here's a fixed fee that you pay every month that just generally goes into the hands of the people whose content you like. I like that as a system. That's a simple system that works well. That's absolutely fine. But that might not be how that goes down. Why am I sucking so badly at this room? This is really bad. I'm hurting a lot. I don't seem to be able to dash as often as I would like. I'm not seeing any cooldown things on the screen, and it's just... it never lets me dash. I know there was one there, but frequently I'm pressing the button when I don't see the thing, and it's like, no, you may not dash now. Why? Why may I not dash now? Please, sir, may I have a dash? Eat the pill, eat the pill, eat the pill. Do it. This is not a responsive game today. I wonder if that's lag. Oh, it could be lag. That could be it. I have got 2 bars for some reason. Okay, this is where we die. Well, for episode 149, let's use a spark of life or something, I don't know. Should probably get that heart attack down. Heart attack didn't... Ah, there we go. Why did that go so badly for me? I don't know why. I'm not sure what I was doing wrong there. I'm still ill. I've been ill all weekend. I've not yet recovered. That must be it. I'm making excuses. I know fiends are nasty, but... Ow! I'm not normally this bad. This really frustrates me when I'm really bad at games, because it's like, I'm not this bad. Honest. So why am I so bad today? Ah, there we go. That's the end of it. Die. So yeah, YouTube Red. I'm on the fence until maybe we'll find out tomorrow. I hope when they actually launch the service, they're gonna actually shed the light on it. And there's 2 pills that I needed. Great, wonderful. So yeah, if it was the good service, I'd be like encouraging people. I'd be like, hey, yeah, you know, you want to support us guys that you watch? That'd be a really great way to do that. Yeah, do that. If it's just all your money goes to PewDiePie. I mean, I guess if you're a big fan of PewDiePie, that's probably a pretty decent thing anyway, but if you don't watch PewDiePie, why are you paying PewDiePie to watch other people? That seems like a really strange situation. And kind of not one I'm cool with. So with that in mind, I kind of also want to touch on other ways to support channels that you enjoy, just because it's something else that's come up recently. I mean, I talked a bit about this on the podcast, to be fair. Obviously, a lot of people use Patreon, myself included. I would say there's a link in the outro. There never is. I haven't annotated my outro. I always intend to put annotations in the outro, and I haven't done that in months, frankly. I kind of occasionally get into the habit of sort of doing it, maybe a little bit, and then I just won't for ages. And I'm kind of in a bit where it's like, nah, I don't annotate the link to Patreon in my outro. So you got to go find the link in the description if you want to go visit that. But if you want to see Tales of Monkey Island with all voice acting done by yours truly, it's really bad, but entertaining. Entertainingly bad, I hope. Yeah, that's what we're doing on Patreon. That's a good way to support creators, because we do see most of that money, and it is just directly to that channel, but I understand why the subscription thing might be off-putting. If you're in America, channels are also allowed to use the YouTube tip jar thing, I think that's the informal name, was it? Fan funding, I think, is the official title they've given it, which is basically a one-off donation, which I think is probably a lot more appealing to a lot of people. It's like, rather than, oh, I have to set up a subscription, and now I'm paying you $5 a month. It's like, well, what if I only want to pay you $5 once? It's like, just a token of my appreciation, because quite frankly, one ad impression that you give to a channel brings in so little money to the channel anyway, that if you were even to donate $1 through fan funding or whatever, that's more money than you would ever bring in through ad revenue. So if you want to really support a channel, hell, $1 in a tip jar, or if people have like a PayPal tip jar or whatever, if other people have gone down other routes, that's certainly a way people have done stuff in the past, that's infinitely a better way to support channels than, oh god, I'm about to get eaten, than just watching adverts alone. Of course, you know, watching adverts is perfectly reasonable. If you don't want to do that, that's exactly the way you should do it. And if you want to ad block, then, well, more power to you. But, yeah. Creators see nothing. We see nothing when you ad block. Please be aware that that is what we see. Nothing is what we see. And that is a poor state of affairs. When we see nothing, we cannot make videos. Well, actually, that's not true, because we're doing this as a hobby anyway. We can totally make videos. But, you know, it would be nice to be able to do this full-time. A lot of the people who do it full-time, Lord help them if they ever had to try and find a job. It's like, oh, so what have you been doing for the last 3 years with your life? It says here you've been self-employed. How have you been self-employed? Well, there's this thing where I sit and play video games on the internet, and people pay me to do that. Okay, and what transferable skills did you gain from doing this particular line of work? Yeah, it doesn't work, does it, in an interview scenario? It's like, I don't want to be in that one. I mean, I've found... Yeah, you see a few YouTubers always seem to end up in, like... So, generally bigger ones, to be fair, but people occasionally end up in, like, a community manager position, which, as far as games industry goes, that's kind of the job I'm continually angling for. I'm looking for, like, community manager kind of positions in the games industry, and then, yeah, it's like... A lot of the job requirements for that. Can you make videos on YouTube? Can you stream on Twitch? If the answer is yes, you're the person we're looking for, is mostly what community manager job descriptions quite frequently seem to boil down to. There's more to it than that, I'm oversimplifying, but still, yeah. So that's a career, but there's not that many of those positions going out there, I can attest. If YouTube were to shut down tomorrow, there would be a lot of people out of work and not a lot of community manager positions to be filled by those YouTubers. I imagine most of them would turn to Twitch, but assuming both YouTube and Twitch both shut down tomorrow for some freak and unexplained situation where Amazon DDoSed Google and Google retaliated and both their servers exploded. That's still not even feasible, but hey. Yeah. So we're talking about other methods. Something that landed in my inbox earlier today, which was kind of intriguing to me. It was a website called givesupport.to, T-O, which is, yeah, give support to / whoever you wish to, you know, give support to. It's kind of a neat little idea, which is very similar to what I would have said Patreon originally was set up to be. Not Patreon, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? It wasn't even set up to be. It's what Steam Curation people hoped it would have been. Which is to say, kind of a storefront that you yourself can curate to sell video games. You pick games from a list, and the store will sell those games that are on your list, and you get a cut of the fees. Which, obviously, for someone like Total Biscuit would be, like, crazy good. For someone like me, I've had a few people occasionally tell me they bought games off the back of stuff that I've recommended, so I could stand to gain something out of that, maybe? I don't know. The thing is, I'm not 100% clear on where this system stands, legally speaking, yet. I don't know if there's some sort of weird, shady, grey market key reseller, or if they're legit and on the up and up and everything. They claim they're legit and on the up and up and everything, but I don't know. I kind of want to talk to them and say, look, how does this work? How do you guys make money out of all this? Where do you get your keys from? If you're just buying them in bundles and selling them for $1 a piece when they're supposed to be sold at $10, no bueno. Or in fact, you know, buying them for $1 a piece and selling them for $10 and giving us the 15% cut that they claim they're going to give us. Yes, that's the thing, that's what it is. It's you pick the games you like, and hey, I review games here. So I make a list of all the things that I've reviewed and said, hey, these are pretty good, you should probably check this game out. So I can just put up a list of games that are really good and absolutely worth your money, and if you buy a game through that store, I would get a 15% cut. Because I haven't set this up or gone through with this, but as a system, it sounds... It sounds promising and less ethically dubious than a lot of the alternatives. Which is one of those things with YouTube, is everyone's always kind of concerned about ethics at the minute, and rightly so. It's a reasonable thing to be concerned about. It's a very important thing to be concerned about. You kind of, you know, you want to know who's paying for opinions, and if they're paying for opinions, because you can't trust an opinion that's been paid for, quite frankly. For what it's worth, my opinions have never been paid for. I get free review copies of a lot of the games I cover. Not all, but most of them. But that's not in any way going to colour my opinion, at least not that I believe so. Not that most people would generally believe so. Most review copies since the dawn of time for most games have been free review copies. This is just the way reviews have been done. So they're not intended to colour your opinion. There's a few people I've seen who are like, oh, I buy all of my review copies. And it's like, well, yeah, okay, more sucker you. Great. You are not more ethical than everyone else because you paid for your copy of the game. It doesn't make you somehow some sort of superior review source that can be trusted over everybody else in the industry. No, you're just a sucker who's paying money that they don't need to, quite frankly. But that aside, yeah... This is basically, it's like, I can continue doing my reviews as ever I have. No one's paying me to do the reviews. And if I enjoy a game, I can put it on the storefront. And if you buy it through there, I get the money. I don't know. At the same time, there's still kind of an element of, does that then make it seem like I'm liking games more than I otherwise would in order to be able to put it on the storefront? And therefore claim money off it being sold? Kind of does, I think. I was going to say, it seemed like a nice system, but now that I think through kind of the thought process, maybe I won't do that. I would like to just be able to say, hey, look at me, look at my opinions, here, appreciate my opinions, but if the moment money changes hands, all opinions kind of start to become void. Even if the money comes from some entirely other source, it still looks dubious. So, I'm not sure I could do that. I wish to remain free and untarnished and as broadly free of bias as I can manage. There are definitely some biases I've had in reviews, but I do tend to disclose them. It's just a kind of, hey, I've met the developer on a few occasions. I think they're pretty cool, to be honest. We had conversations. We may have had drinks on occasion. Yeah. Does this colour my opinion? Yeah, it probably does. Does it colour my opinion enough that I won't touch the game? Most cases, no. In some cases, I think I would probably have to just recuse myself. I don't think I could ever... I have covered Deja Barn stuff before. I don't think I could ever really comfortably cover Deja Barn stuff in the future. Or Joe Mirabello, Tower of Guns guy. If he releases another game, I would probably certainly play it. I don't think I could ever review it. Doesn't it? I am friends with Joe Mirabello, I will say that much, and... If I were to review any other game he made, that would be dishonest of me. So, yeah. Oh, a mystery level! What could this be? I don't know, we're almost at half an hour and I've rambled a lot about supporting content creators, which is a topic close to my heart, so, yeah. We must not... one thing I always kind of forget, because it's just not a ecosystem I'm a part of to any great extent, is obviously Twitch subscriptions are... up there with Patreon, really. Admittedly, if you were to donate money on Patreon, the creator would see more of that cut than you would through a Twitch subscription, but Twitch gives you other perks and stuff, like obviously you don't get the ads on Twitch, and emotes, and whatever else Twitch does these days. I'm sure Twitch does a lot of things. But on the podcast, when we had Fixer on yesterday, Fixer was also like, oh yeah, Amazon have started taking quite a large cut of that. I don't know what that figure is, but it sounds like maybe that's not as good a service as it was. But either way, once again, they get a chunk of your $5 a month. They get a good chunk of it, and it's probably more than they'd ever see from you through ad revenue. So there's also a good way to support your channels that you like. Yay. So, also good, also good. A lot of money going to Amazon there, but again, a reasonable amount that would make people happy going to the content creators. So, of all the above, I don't know, I haven't figured out how much of the fan funding, the tip jar, YouTube takes. If they take their if they take their 45% of that, that's probably not as great. If that's the case, Patreon is still by far and away the best thing you could do for any content creator. Merch is always good if a creator has merch. Merch is excellent. I keep wondering what, if any, merch I could ever do. I manufacture stuff that cannot be classified as merch, but I manufacture stuff that I sell on the internet on an Etsy store, which is completely unrelated to Button Mash, but it's just owned by me and run by me, and I sell things. So there's also usually, if not always, a link to that in the description. If you want to see the kind of things I make and sell on the internet, because I'm literally selling things that I make there, yes, I get a good chunk of that money, so that's a good way to fund what I do there on that one. If you wish to throw a few pennies my way and get something cool in return, I sell stuff on the internet. Yeah. Also, so these are all solid options. Many of them potentially much better than YouTube Red. It seems like YouTube Red is going to be, of all the ways to support the folks that you like, it could be, by a long margin, probably one of the weakest. Just the thing is, it kind of seems like it's only really going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be one of the best ways to do it, or one of the worst. There's ways that will probably give someone a greater cut of the money. Merch, or a direct tip, or even a Patreon will probably see more money, but in terms of, hey, I want to support everybody I watch equally with just this flat fee, yeah, that's good. I mean, as a service, just beyond I want to support people kind of thing, and I want rid of ads, YouTube are obviously trying to turn it into a service. It's the YouTube Red service. They recently rolled out the gaming app. They will be rolling out the new music app with this, which is basically them trying to compete with Spotify, I think, to be quite honest. It's like, most people are just well, not most people, but a lot of people just use YouTube for listening to music at this point. They're just like, I'll just Google my favourite artist and watch their music videos, and, well, not even their music videos, just the album cover with the music playing, because God knows there's enough of those videos on YouTube. It's just a way to listen to music, and it's good enough for most people. And yeah, YouTube realizes this, so they're like, hey, let's just make a thing where people can just listen to the music. Since people are already using the service for this, let's do this. But then it's like, now there's music discovery somehow in there. It'll be kind of a Spotify kind of thing. It's like, you listen to this music, so why don't you listen to this music? So there's that in there. Oh, and yeah, they've got 10 of the biggest names on YouTube to make some TV shows. I don't know. Oh, hey, there's a pumpkin thing. That's a Halloween thing. Hooray! Happy Halloween, everybody! Does this thing drop tokens if I kill it? It does not. It does? Oh, no, it comes back. Right, yeah, it's one of those ones. I see, yeah, it's the one that's like a scarab and then it turns into a zombie, and then you kill it and I get a single token out of it. Hooray, brittle candy. A single brittle candy that I will never spend because I'm not going to get 24 more of them. Oh well, such is life. Where was I? I've lost my place. Oh, there is another one. Hey, okay, maybe I will have 2 brittle candies today. Maybe that is what will happen in my life. So yeah, they got, oh yeah, the TV shows that YouTube is doing. So PewDiePie, obviously, is doing a TV show, so he's going to make a ton of money out of that, as is 9 other channels. There's the Matt Pat from Game Theorists. There's a lot of people I don't know. Hey, I did get 2 brittle candies. Hooray! It's a Halloween miracle. I might even get 3, depending on how the RNG is feeling today. Unless they always drop brittle. Do these guys always drop brittle candies? Maybe they are. That's, oh yeah, the brittle candy is the requirement for the scarab mask, and this has got scarab-like tendencies. Excuse me. Yeah, maybe they always drop brittle in order to try and get you a scarab mask. I think they do. I think that's how that works. Aha! Another game theory solved, or whatever the heck MatPat does. I don't know. But yeah, he's doing a TV show. He'll see a lot of YouTube Red Muddy. I forget all the others. There's a lot of ones, a lot of channels I've never heard of. There's a lot of channels on YouTube. A lot of really huge channels that you've never heard of, but they've got like tens of millions of subscribers. How that happens, I don't know. Maybe I shall be amongst them one day. And then millions of people will be digging back into my archives from like 5 years ago, and they will find this video, and they'll be like, good God, this guy used to suck. How did he get this big? And I'll be like, yes, I don't know. A man can dream. A man can dream. And yeah, so with all the things above in mind, do all the things and support my channel, please, because that way then maybe my dream can come true. My dream can true. Great. I am never going to get famous if that's how I talk. Woo! Let's wrap this thing up. Yeah. Yes. Questions for the end of the season next week, please. I do need those. It is episode 150, and I need an appropriate episode 150 question, and I will give you a shout-out when you give me the questions. And then... who knows? The future hasn't been written yet. It's all Back to the Future at the minute, isn't it? It was Back to the Future last week, I didn't do anything for it. Oh well. Either way, the future has not been written yet, and I don't know quite where we're going. But wherever we're going, we don't need roads. So, thank you very much for watching. I've been Meroka. I'll see you next time.